do this. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you are watching. Welcome back to another episode of MY3. And today we have none other than an amazing guy from the Real Soul family and a good friend of the community. Mike, welcome to the stage. Thanks for coming on. Shout yourself out and tell the viewers all about you.
So I'm Mike underscore, well, it's Mike underscore Nificent underscore lifts on Instagram. What to say about myself? I'm still kind of new to the community, even though like I've kind of been on and off collecting for a while. If I start talking about like what got me into collecting and when I started collecting, I'll be here all day. So I got involved with the Soul family maybe 2019, and it was just because I didn't know anyone in the community prior to that. And then just after following a few people, coming to events, meeting people like you at the other podcasts, at meetups at the pub, you kind of start to build up a friendship with a lot of people, and it's a nice way to kind of just make copping trainers more fun, and it's more of a lifestyle than just a weird, creepy thing that people do, or it's like a thing that we obsess over. It's just nice to have friends and people who understand the obsession we have.
Indeed, I couldn't have put it better myself. Absolutely perfect. Great start. So we are going to kick things off with reverse order as always. Let's see your third sneaker in your MY3.
Okay, so a couple of these pairs I don't currently own, but I'm on the lookout to buy. But all three of my pairs have like a meaning or history or played some part in what I'm collecting today.
Fantastic.
So I'm just gonna show you on the old tablet. My first pair, don't know if you can see it with the brightness, but it is the UCLA Dunks, the baby blue Dunks that dropped earlier this year.
Yes, that just came out. Yes, correct.
So I took an L on these, and I was hoping to have them if I was to ever do a show like this, but I didn't get any. But the history of those is when I was about 14, my birthday present, you know, when you're that age, your parents are buying you sneakers and it's that one big gift for your birthday. And for me, it was those. It was like Dunks were just starting to become a little bit more popular. And it was like, it's the age where you're starting to care about how you dress, how other people see you. And it's like, I wear those Dunks. And I remember waking up first thing on a Saturday morning, going straight to Foot Locker. Mum's like, I'll pick up what you want. I'll come back and see what you. And I got taken advantage of because I got upsold on a bunch of extras that I didn't really need. I got like an extra 2 insoles, 3 pairs of laces, shoe lifts, like shoe horns, all kinds of stuff. So it ended up being way more expensive than it should have been.
I remember those days when they used to upsell everything to you.
But I absolutely, it was the first time I'd ever like picked out a shoe and was there to kind of go to the counter by myself. And it was just that feeling of having that shoe and then everyone going, oh, you got those. Oh, I really wanted those. And then like my best friend had another one of the colorways that was like that recently dropped as well, the red ones. And we were like the same size. So we used to switch pairs. And like if my outfit wanted to go in with red, I'd wear his pair and then he'd wear my pair. And then it was just like a nice little way to kind of, and that was like one of the intros of me getting into sneakers. That's why it's such a big thing for me.
No, I love it. Great story. Obviously, it's a great shoe as well, a classic. And I can testify. I know exactly what you were going through back then and how it used to be with the parents just buying the one sneaker of the year sort of thing. And that was your special one. Gutted you took the L, but I'm sure you will get it very soon. Now, would you pay resale on it or how are you at with that?
Depends, because this year is kind of crazy with the list of ones that are dropping this year, and I'm a massive one fan.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to get a break, because it seems like there's 2 dropping next month, and then there's a couple pairs dropping the month after, and it's just that pace all the way through the year. So I don't know, but ideally, if it comes up at a reasonable resale price, then I might have to.
Yeah, I think so. There was quite a lot of them by the seams of it. You know, a lot of them quite dropped, but I reckon you'll get your hands on it. But that's the problem, isn't it? You know, it's just relentless at the moment, and it always has been for the last year or so. Just every other day, there's another new shoe. So it's kind of stepping back. That's where I'm at the moment, kind of thinking, what do I really, really want? Do you know what I mean? And going back to a shoe that you know did want, but you couldn't get, so maybe pay the resale on it.
Exactly.
But no,
so
love it.
Great to stay away from resale. Sorry.
Yeah, go on. You talk.
I've always tried to stay away from resale until last year, and then it kind of broke the seal on resale. I've never had to pay too much until the end of last year. Like I probably bought 15 pairs resale, And I've never had to pay more than an extra 30 or 40 pounds on them, but I had to break the seal and pay quite a lot for some of the pairs that are up there behind me because I just had to have them.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. Excellent. Thank you very much. That is a good start. So what about your second shoe?
Okay, my second shoe has a little bit more of a history and it's a bit longer, a longer past. So I'll show you on here. And it's the Up Tempos from 96.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's too bright, but like...
Yeah, no, you can see that on the screen there. What we'll do is afterwards, I'll ask you to send in the pictures and then we can use them as the graphics later on.
Awesome. And when I say there's a long history, I mean there was a long history. I don't know if you can make that out on the camera, but that's me at about 8 years old.
Love that.
My first pair of somewhat hype trainers, and that's why I loved them. I needed them, and I didn't know there was a drop a month ago or so, and I didn't see it until I saw a lot of people posting their wins, and I was like, wait, what? I really need a pair. And I tried to go on like eBay and other places to get them resell, but it's always like up-tempo style shoe, so I don't know if it's like a legitimate shoe or not. So I just kind of tend to leave it alone. But that shoe is, I think, the first time I ever wore a shoe to school. I didn't wear a school uniform at school, so we could wear whatever we want, whatever trainers, whatever like outfits we wanted. And I wore those to school. It was the first time everyone was like, "Oh my god, those are so cool! Those are so heavy! Those are where'd you get those?" And I just remember going to Foot Locker with my mum and picking them out, and my mum was like, "Yeah, you can have them." And it was just that buzz of like everyone rooting, like talking about that shoe, and it's also the link to Scottie Pippen and like the 90 Bulls. And if you knew about basketball in the 90s, and especially if you were a kid in the 90s, you loved the Bulls in the 90s. And I'm still a Bulls fan to this day. No matter how bad we are now, I'm still a Bulls fan to this day because of the 90s.
Yeah, they were good times, the 90s, and another great story. But like I testify with you again, you know, it is all about that memory, isn't it? You know, when you're the kids, you know, you have that one shoe, or you go in and have a look at there's always a couple of sneakers that you just remember from those kind of eras when you were growing up. But I love it. But that's also the thing with the up tempos. There's been a lot of models over the years, haven't they? And they've kind of adapted it to different styles and done a lot of hybrids and stuff. So yeah, it's like you said, trying to find that exact one that you were after.
They've got two other pairs, but they're not that pair.
They're not that pair.
Yeah. I kind of want to recreate that photo as an adult now, but it's just finding that pair.
It will come. It will come.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Sneaker gods are looking down. So moving on to number one, what is your top sneaker?
Okay, so my number one is the shoe that I've loved almost like from maybe 14, 15 all the way through till now. And whenever I said, whenever it was a shoe, it was always a Jordan. I'm a massive Jordan fan. Even though I own a little bit more just the normal Nike brand, almost a third of my collection is just Jordans. And this was the Jordan that was always in my mind. Even before I knew what it was, what the silhouette number was, what it was called, it was always the Jordan. When my mom and dad used to go on holiday to America, I was like, can you pick up a pair of Jordans? Can you pick up a pair of Jordans? They never picked up the pair, but I managed to pick it up from Offspring on a drop in, I think, 2019. I just happened to be awake and they gone up on the website and I was like, I need them. And I picked up the Jordan 4, the Breads. And these were like, just the silhouette and the colorway was just what I needed from when I was young. I just loved this so much. It's just like, for me, growing up, it was the quintessential Jordan. Like, as much as I love ones now and I love the 3, I can list all the Jordans that I love, but there's a special place in my heart. And I know like other people love a 1 or a 3 more, but the 4 is just, it has that history of me and that love. It was what got me into Jordans more than anything else.
Yeah, I'm the same. I prefer 4s over anything else. Love all of them, but yeah, I'm the 4s man. And the Breads is the ultimate colorway. I actually slept on that one in 2000. They were sitting on the shelves in 2019. Yeah, I think so, if I remember rightly, at JD Sports. They were actually sitting, or because that was a few years back. Kind of, it was before the Last Dance. I feel like the Last Dance literally changed everything with the Jordan brands, and it kind of like just put them back on the market again and put them back on the hype again. So it's now a lot harder. They were sitting around, but classic shoe, absolutely great shoe to have as your number one. So thank you. And also very exciting about that shoe, which we hopefully are all going to look forward to this year.
Definitely go for those. Definitely go for those.
That is on the ultimate grail list, that shoe. And I'm obviously a big size, so I couldn't get the sale colour. But if that off-white bread comes out this year,
it's a must. It's definitely a must.
I love it. I love it. Mike, you've been a legend. Great top three. Great stories as always. And that's what it's all about.
Really.
And you've seen the perfect example, ladies and gentlemen, of someone who's come onto the show who doesn't have two of his top three sneakers. And he's come on, he showed them us two on an iPad, and he's explained the stories behind them. And that's what we want to see, the story, the history. And that's what makes it all exciting. And that's what this show's all about. So once again, Michael, thank you very, very much for coming on. Much appreciated. As always, we're going to just do sneaker of the day, shoe of the day, whatever's on foot. I'm going to kick things off. To be honest with you, to the viewers out there, this is a Friday night. We're live, and I'm just coaching at home, so I'm actually just wearing a pair of Air Max 90 slides.
They're a nice pair of slides.
Can't go wrong with these.
They're a really nice pair of slides.
Yeah, they're great. I got these when they dropped in the summer. And I've got to say, I've probably worn them every single day since. They're just the perfect kind of, because they're the 90 sole, they're very durable. So for knocking around the house, running outside, they're good. What about yourself?
See, I saw that you caught a few other people out, and I was like, you're not going to get me. You're not going to get me. So
I love it.
Another pair, because I have a story for every pair I own, but this is another pair that I absolutely love, and it's the Origin Story Jordan 1s.
Yeah.
And it's probably my favorite pair of ones that I currently own. Just because like the story behind it, how it's linked to the Spider-Man movie, how it's the classic Chicago colorway. I love the art style. I love the 3M dots. Just love the shoe. And it's the shoe that got me back into Jordan 1s.
Yeah, beautiful shoe. A lot of controversy over that shoe when it dropped.
Really?
Well, do you remember End outside the fights and everything? Do you remember all about that?
I remember there was a bit of that with the Concords as well.
Yeah.
That was a bit before like I was really in the community, so I didn't really see any of that too much.
Yeah, this was kind of a few years ago when they dropped. I remember there was a whole load of trouble outside Ends and stuff, and yeah, it wasn't too fun, unfortunately. But there we go. So it wraps up another episode of MY3. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. As always, it really, really helps us out. Mike, thank you very much for coming on. I've been JP. As always, we will see you again with another episode of MY3.
Take care.